Hello, it's My Life with CPS. I do have to say it's still a nightmare and it hasn't stopped. CPS will not leave me alone. They will not let me raise my children in peace. They follow me around from place to place, always trying to find reasons to walk out the door with them. And, it's a total nightmare, I do have to say. But they do have the children. They want to give them back. But the thing is, they won't leave me alone. They will not allow me to put my kids in 2 programs, which will educate them highly, and at the same time, give them the education that they both need in order to mature their brain, to make their minds work. They are severely behind for reasons. I was pretty much forced to taking pills that caused my children to have these delays, and it's all due to Dale P. Reisner and Christy Stewart at Swedish Hospital. Those are the 2 people that instigated the investigation. Those are the 2 people that caused me to have to deal with CPS. The only reason I'm dealing with CPS is because they made a point of putting those people into my lives. And before I had my children, I didn't have anything to do with CPS. I raised 25 nephews and nieces, and I was there for them, but not their whole entire life. Mainly because my family are all criminals, and I wasn't going to participate in criminal activity. So we ceased communications with each other as far as the family goes. But CPS will not leave me alone. They act like what has happened to me in my past has happened to them. For example, my favorite group is Aerosmith. All 4 of those guys have done extensive drugs and were alcoholics. But I didn't see CPS bothering them or their families or trying to tell them that they need to take parenting classes in order to be a parent. I don't see CPS going around to people that work in the music industry and tell them that they need to take parenting classes. I don't see CPS going up to people that work in the bank and telling them that they need to take parenting classes. Everybody who's a first-time parent should have freedom and be a parent in a natural way. CPS is trying to tell me how to live my life. And what they're trying to do is tell me what I've been through in my life, that I should be highly affected. But they have to remember it's my life. Things that have happened to me has happened to me and me only. And when you get over certain things that happen to you in your life, and when things have affected your life in different ways, then it's up to each and every individual to go through that. But I do have to say, since I've had children, they have taken the joy, snapped it right out of my life from day one. All because of this one particular doctor who works for Swedish Hospital. The lawyer I do have, which my other lawyer had quit, this lawyer will not even bother to submit all the witnesses that I have given on to him. The other lawyer, it was a woman, she quit. She had all the information, she had all the paperwork, she had all the documentation, she had the names, the numbers, the fax numbers, along with the additional telephone numbers to contact each and every person to come to court. This new lawyer, he tells me basically he doesn't have time to read all the information that I've submitted. And also, they're refusing to have the people that started this come to court. And that's Dale P. Reisner, who's a woman who is the CEO of Swedish Hospital, and another woman, her name is Christy Stewart, now Whitman, basically said point blank that I had no way of taking care of my children. I have been badgered, harassed, followed around, treated like a citizen of someone who is not capable. I got my kids to school each and every day on time. They have perfect attendance records. I made sure they had their doctor's appointments on time each and every month or every 3 months. And I made sure they went to the dentist on a regular basis. And I still managed to pay the bills and keep up all the responsibilities that were need to be done. They're never going to leave me alone. If they come into my life, I love my children dearly. But if I take them back, CPS is going to tell me what to do with my time. They're going to tell me how to spend my time, where to go, what to do, and what I should do with my time. And I feel like that's really, really, really unfair, because nobody has a right to be controlled and treated like someone who doesn't have a brain, who can't think for themselves, and needs to be controlled in the sense of being told what to do with their time, so that way they're marked for everything that they do. That's what CPS is all about, is control. And, if I can go back in time, when they took my daughter 3 days after she was born because she was addicted to Percodan, which the doctor gave to me, which I did not want to take anymore because it was making me sick. When I told her I didn't want to take any more drugs and narcotics, and my daughter was born addicted to drugs and narcotics, the same drugs that the doctor gave to me, basically, when they took my daughter, it was very upsetting. And I signed that little form. And if I would have never, ever signed, if I would have said, let's just go to court, I have people, let's go, let's do it, then it would have been a different outlook on my life. But you don't realize when you're signing that one little piece of paper, you're signing 18 years of harassment to your life. That's all you're doing. When you sign for the first time with CPS, I'm trying to save other people this trouble, because I tell you, I wouldn't want anybody to suffer the way that I have been suffering. I can't even get one single lawyer in Seattle, Washington to be on my side. Not one single lawyer will sue the hospital that caused my daughter to have birth defects. I cannot even get one single lawyer who will stand with me and say, okay, you know what? You're suing these people for $30 million. Okay, I'll take my 30% and walk away. Not one single lawyer. I can't even get a graduation student who will just stand up with me and do the right thing. Help me. Help me get my freedom. Help me be able to be a parent to my children without being harassed and bothered and followed around like I'm a criminal. The only thing that I can do right now in my life is get a good job. I need a really, really, really good job. I need the kind of job where, I can have the money and I could say, you know what? Let me hire somebody who will stand by my side, somebody who will fight with me and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take my children and get the hell out of Seattle, because I've lived here my whole entire life. And I'll tell you one thing, I have not been treated right in this United States, in Seattle, Washington. Let me tell you what kind of family I grew up with. I grew up with a really good family when I was young and growing up. There were no drugs involved. But once the drugs stepped in, then I've got sisters going to jail, brothers being pimps, sisters selling drugs on the corner, another sister carjacking, stabbing people, robbing people. Okay, then I've got to watch them do that. And I'm the baby of the family. I got to watch all of this as I'm growing up, and they're breaking the law. My mother was a sweet, wonderful, kind, caring, considerate person. And she loved her children dearly. So she kept getting them out of jail over and over again. Let me pay this, let me get this, let me get that. Instead of just letting them sit in jail and suffering the consequences. If they would have suffered the consequences, maybe they wouldn't be in the situation that they were as I was growing up.